If you don't have ADHD as a business owner, you are employing somebody that does, and that is usually the case. I think typically in the space of entrepreneurs, you do see kind of a higher percentage probably of people with ADHD anyway. The ADHD kind of acronym was something that I had heard a lot growing up. I had been accused of maybe by some people growing up, but never was super educated about it. Kind of, I think like most people viewed it as like the little hyperactive boy in the classroom. I went all the way through elementary, middle, high school without any sort of diagnosis, got into college and found myself struggling in a new way where I did not feel like I was capable of being successful. And then a pandemic hit. And so all of my classes went online. I had no in-person accountability for things. I was kind of self-managed through online courses. And I found myself at the end of my sophomore year, not only on academic probation, but to the point where I was about to be kicked out of my major in the university that I had worked so hard to get into. I thought I was dumb. I thought I was lazy. I thought all these things. And then my parents encouraged me to look into getting an ADHD diagnosis. So my junior year, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was medicated for ADHD and transformed from a failing GPA to a 3.4 GPA, 3.5 GPA. Like it was just such a dramatic difference. Medication was something that was a pretty instantaneous transformation for me. For a long time was kind of all I needed. Right after college, I went into a job that was very high intensity, very highly structured, and really thrived and kind of thought like, the ADHD thing is cured, I'm good to go, until I transitioned into a career where it required a lot of self-discipline, a lot of kind of building my own schedule, and I found myself right back to being that kid when I switched to online school during the pandemic. I was at a complete loss. My emotional regulation was out of control. I could not get anything done, and I was at a loss. And then one day I was in a networking group and I heard a woman talk about how she was an ADHD coach, and she ended her spiel with the tagline, "Pills don't teach skills." And it just resonated immediately in me of like, I need to talk to this woman. Scheduled a meeting with her. Her name was Chelsea. Immediately hired her to coach me through ADHD, and a life-changing transformation began and continues to take place at that point. I became educated on ADHD and how it did not just impact my ability to complete tasks, but it covered my emotional regulation, my ability to get out of bed in the morning, my ability to remember things, like encompassed so many struggles that I had that I didn't identify as being related to ADHD. Once I kind of got the tools to understand myself and work with myself, it enabled me to have that confidence and kind of appreciation for myself that I wasn't broken, I was just different, and I was working incorrectly with the way that I was. So much of my life was difficult because the people around me who wanted to help me did not understand how to help me. When I had those tools, I was not only an adequate employee, student, or team member, I was an exceptional one. I wanted to contribute. I was so passionate about what I was doing. When I'm really on and I'm passionate and I'm tapped into my gifts with ADHD, I can get as much done as a regular person can get done in a month, in one day. I can just sit and go. And so that is the piece of when you can tap into it and you can understand it and you can work with it instead of fighting that it doesn't look like everybody else's. It's really such a gift. I would tell a business leader that's struggling with ADHD, either with themselves or somebody working for them, I think all business owners probably have somebody on their team like that is not maybe reaching their full potential because they're unequipped to deal with that. And so I think when you educate business leaders of what that looks like, they, like I was with myself, are able to start working with those people instead of fighting against the way that they're naturally programmed to be. And that, I think, when you do that is where you can kind of start to see the saying of like ADHD is a superpower come to life. Like, I don't think that's true when it's undiagnosed and undealt with and you're just kind of in the weeds. But when you can flourish with it and really lean into those parts of yourself those natural gifts that you have, it is absolutely a superpower. It has been in my life, and I think it can be in so many other people's. So yeah, I think teaching business leaders kind of unlocks that superpower that they may have in themselves or on their team already.